We are in London for the Party Poker Premier League. This is the first major TV event to be held at Asper's Casino here in Westfield Shopping Centre in Stratford City. The backdrop is the famous London Olympic Park, where some of the world's biggest sports stars achieved greatness on an international stage. Now, 16 of the world's greatest poker players are battling it out in our arena in order to win one of the most prestigious titles in the game. Group A includes Antonio Esfandiari, Jonathan Duhamel, Sam Trickett, Marvin Rettenmeyer, Daniel Jungleman Cates, Daniel Negreanu, Phil Hellmuth, and last year's winner, Scott Seaver. Group B sees Jason Mercier, Talal Shakerchi, Igor Kurganov, Jennifer Tilley, Tobias Renkemeyer, Tony G, Phil Locke, and Dan Shack. Each group plays 4 matches. They're awarded points for where they finish in every game. And at the end of the league stage, the top 3 players on each table will be guaranteed a place in the final. Those in 4th and 5th positions will play heads up for the last 2 seats. Let's turn to the voice of poker, Jesse May, for a rundown on the game so far.
In Group A's first league match, it was 2010 WSOP main event winner Jonathan Duhamel who shot to the top of their league table. Last time, Group B took their seats, including poker sweethearts Phil Locke and Jennifer Tilley.
We're going to be drinking champagne on the flight home.
She pushed Tony G around and then went on to knock him out.
Close enough. Well done.
Nice
well done.
She continued to punish the other players, including the Russian Igor Kurganov, and built an impressive lead. Meanwhile, Jason Mercier also dominated the game, building a big stack. It wasn't a good day at the office for Talal Shakerchi, however. He was sent to the rail in 7th place.
All right, Talal. Pleasure playing with you. Be well.
We are now down to 6, and Phil Locke and Igor Kurganov are at the bottom of the leaderboard. They have a lot of work to do when this game gets back underway. Jennifer Tilley and Jason Mercier, on the other hand, have accumulated lots of chips.
Tell me what the story of your match has been so far.
So far, I've pretty much been playing kind of tight. I picked a few spots. Besides that, I made a few big hands, flopped a couple sets against Phil Locke, made a flush against Talil, and yeah, just been shipping up kind of slowly.
I felt pretty good. Lots of friendly people, great atmosphere, and I'm overall happy with the way I played. So I'm looking forward to go back on the table now.
I can always remember the 0,
2 players
11,
out.
16, but the middle clumping.
You can hear Phil Locke, and why not? He's happy as a clam right now.
So next one I
He's survived at least 2 players in what has pretty much been a disaster heat for him.
Yeah. Who do we appreciate? Igor, raising to rainbow. Raising the rainbow. Just in case. I'm quite delighted.
2-10 for Kurganov and Mercier.
Okay, here we go. It's going to be a flip. Kurganov's going to have 300 or be out. And if he's out, Phil Locke moves up another point. And then he's going to start playing poker. Jason just called with ace-queen.
No, he has re-raised. It was a click back,
yeah.
but this is just going to happen the way it happens, which is shove call, I guess.
Oh wait, what was the yesterday? I noticed that the players looked at dinner menus and then they all had something.
I have like this, these bars that aren't bad. These healthy
Here we
bars.
go.
Oh, really?
And Mercier not upset. It's a flip.
Phil Locke can move up. Wow, what a flop for Jason.
Don't even
Nothing like flopping your opponent to just, wow.
He just smashed you.
Yeah, just smashed him. I mean, like a heart, it's over.
See a jack of hearts and a 9.
And Jason just makes the nuts, that's all.
And that's the end for Igor Kurganov. What do you think overall about his entry here in the Premier League? Is he going to be competitive?
I think he will be competitive. I don't see him running that bad next time. So
yeah, that's right. We're all going to play again.
He ran pretty bad.
Hit the showers and see it tomorrow.
By the way, Jason, just so you know, if I get all my chips in and you're the guy that gets in with me and you're a favorite, it's not going to feel as bad because earlier the stacks were deeper and I hadn't made any points yet or anything. Now I've got 4 locked up. My stack is more shallow.
Are you saying you're going to jam it on my blind?
Pretty much. Let you know. You can go.
Wow.
You'll be right, but like,
I mean, this is a clever guy, Mercier. He speaks lock,
which is the perfect kind of weird number to torture.
He cut out all the bullhickey
70, 80, 84,
and translated that into 3 words.
Race 16.
Ah, look at this. This is some foiling plan by right field comes out and foils things.
Foiling planned by right field.
10, 5 and 1 is 16.
I prepared it so I don't mess it up.
Obviously, we can see that the ace-4 is better, Phil, but it's a fold, isn't it?
Yep, I can get through them, no problem. This is all in.
Yeah.
Wow.
I probably shouldn't think out loud, but
With you, it's all mind games anyway. We're not even listening.
Well said, Dan.
Yep.
84.
Fold.
So 16, 16.
it's nothing, kid. You have all the money in the world. It barely touched your stack.
I call.
Do you have better than ace high?
Yay.
Close.
Come on, Phil. You can do it.
I got it in right. That's
I'll
the
tell
first
you,
option. I don't
it's a
mind if
pretty
I
good
lose, 'cause I have
situation
to
for
stub
Phil.
anyways.
Oh,
Ah, there's a king.
Whoa.
there's 2 kings. It's worse.
That looks like
Runner,
a
runner,
pretty good
diamond.
flop for Renkemeyer.
Diamond, diamond.
That could happen,
That's true.
but can't now.
Not today.
Here.
See you tomorrow.
We'll see you guys.
4
Phil,
points for
I'll see
Phil
you
Lock.
later.
I think he has to be pretty satisfied with that result, considering it could have been out much earlier.
Okay.
Hey, that's
I'm so in shock. I almost shake your hand. I'm like,
What
I
did you
can't believe they didn't win. I was like, so for sure.
So positive.
I think you should be pretty happy. I mean, 4 is a really, it's you know, it's interesting. 4 points means a lot, you know? It really does. 4 versus 0 is huge.
Yeah, I mean, already he's out of the relegation zone into the playoff zone, and now look how tight these chips are, Phil.
I'm really happy, by the way, with 4 points. That's huge. Because if you think about it, you don't want the bagel. You don't want 2. You don't want 3. 5, and, you know, if you get further up the rank, 4th or 3rd, that's really strong. But 4 is actually a media. It's not it's a loss, but it's not like a laser hot loss.
My guess is it'll be somewhere between 3.5 and 4.5 minutes before Phil Lock pokes his head in here and asks what everybody had the last 27 hands.
Yeah.
It's like 7, 5, 5, 8.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe you don't.
7, 5, 5, 8.
But now this is quite exciting four-handed, and when you look at the average stack, which is about 500K, and you look at the blinds, which are 8,000, you say to yourself, "My God, there's some play here."
There really is, and I think now, you know, now everybody's more comfortable. They're in the top 4. They're all deep stacks, so now they can play a few hands, you know.
Phil. I want to know if this qualifies as a shack attack or is this like
It's confusing.
shack defense or something? It's like, I'm not quite sure.
Ooh,
Wow.
pretty good flop for Dan.
We get to see how good Tobias is at avoiding danger.
Check.
We're getting out of a pickle. It's an unusual check. Is that a pot control check or a check raise check?
Wow, small little bet too. 1/3 pot. I mean, he flopped top pair, you know, king, jack, 6. Your opponent most likely can never beat, you know, a king. So it's, you know, I'd like to see Dan bet a little bit more there with top 2, but okay, 5 is a great card for him. Now everything changes.
Is it possible that Tobias Renkemeyer was just looking for a safe card on the turn before he got the money in? Make sure he's ahead of the draws?
Well, he's never going to put that much money in. He can never raise. He only gets called by hands that have him crushed. But he's not folding. He's going to call 35K for sure here.
Or he's essentially never getting away from it, but he wants to give Dan the opportunity to hang himself.
Exactly.
And here is the river. He's drawn dead now. Was
It's
Tobias.
a really good card for Dan.
Check.
Dan needs to bet like 80,000 here. He needs to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, should Dan be recognizing the line that Tobias has taken and actually bet big? You know, 100.
That's 100.
100?
100.
Price going up. Started out so cheaply and then
Wow, is he going to lose his customer, Phil?
Maybe.
it's a shack attack now. I call.
Well, he's called anyway. And that's the bad news.
That qualifies.
Tony G is gone but not forgot.
I either had that or nothing, right? But you talked me into betting more. Like you're like, that's not enough.
Wow, he's needling him.
Oh, that is.
That's cold, Dan.
That's cold-blooded.
Benny punched you for the nuts. All right. This German thinks I'm not betting enough.
I trust. Obviously, he's the superior player.
I sometimes think that in this Premier League, a good player or a good play is not nearly as respected as a good needle. If it's well done.
There's some truth in that.
All right, that's one of the reasons it's so fun to watch you and Daniel play together. He does seem to read you, to be inside your head sometimes. So quite funny. And
I like playing with Daniel because he's. I don't mind people making fun of me. I'm not every day at the series. I'll call floor man or whatever, but I don't mind it. It's kind of fun if they're clever. I can always appreciate cleverness.
Tobias is about to have a quick exit here. King 10, King 10, King on the flop, King on the flop.
This was a very unlucky flop for him. I mean, it just came King Jack and he lost.
And now he's trying a little bit of a different line. He's leading into the razor here with top pair.
He's leading, hoping that Jason might raise, actually.
Jeez, look at those percentages. He's in terrible shape here.
Yeah, the problem is that you know, it's tough for him to get away from the hand. It's possible he could call and then fold on the turn, but it's just there's too many hands out there where Jason could be drawing. Jason could have King 9 suited or King 8 suited, or hands like that. Tobias has in horrible shape. Now the turn can change everything, right?
Could come a spade, or
could come a 6, a queen, a spade. There's a spade, so now he can't beat nearly as many hands.
If Tobias is left with anything at the end of this hand, I'll be impressed. That's what I'm saying. Anything at all.
They both checked.
Jeez, is that going to kill the action?
That's a bad card for both players. I mean, Queen 10 got there, which was the open-ended straight. The flush got there.
As it turns out, and Tobias is not loving it, but it's been a beautiful run out for him because it's killed the action.
It really has, yeah.